Alright, round one. So I'm playing a Boros aggro deck. It's very similar to the one, I forget his name, Tiemu, something like that. He uploaded a video some time ago where he used a deck very similar to this at a online event, I want to say. I'm not sure, like an MtG online. And I've been playing around with it. I altered my build a little, more along the lines of what he had. But I was running an aggro deck pretty similar to it. The spicy tech for this deck is the 2 Chance for Glories I run in the main deck. When I play the deck, I usually think about it in terms of, like, I try to imagine if I had other cards that do similar effects, like Pride of Conquerors is common, Make a Stand is common. Pride of Conquerors has the Ascend, all creatures get 1/1, and then if you Ascend with it, it's +2/+2 until end of turn for 2 mana, which is pretty good. My opponent was not ready. Let me just DM him again. And wait for him to respond. And the other one, Make a Stand, is a 3 mana white spell that gives all creatures you control +1/+0 and indestructible until end of turn. There are situations where Chance for Glory just gives you that extra reach, where that extra turn can really do something. And if your opponent is tapped out, then you can usually calculate perfectly whether or not you can actually I was gonna stop the recording and start it again, but oh well. Whether or not you can actually calculate lethal, you can usually calculate it perfectly if your opponent is tapped out. One time I calculated it imperfectly, and my opponent had 1 life left. We're on the play, which is good. This hand is acceptable. This is fine. We can potentially drop a turn 3 Loxodon. We'll lead with Sky Marcher. So my opponent is playing a deck with sort of like a pirate theme going on. Lots of pirate cards. No real, not a ton of like synergies or anything like that going on, but it seems to be alright. Fairly decent. So we'll just see how we do here. And we'll just keep pressing on. My opponent doesn't have any sweepers in his main deck, so I'm not too worried about it. There are no sweepers in the side either, no Ritual of Suits or anything like that. It's part of deck hand, it's fine, no problem. Probably don't want to drop Tribunal here. I'm trying to decide if we Loxodon or not. We could arguably Tribunal. I really like the Loxodon play. Gets me up to 7 permanents. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll get our Venerated Loxodon out while buffing up the rest of our creatures. So we can use a Tribunal next turn potentially on something that might be dangerous. He may swing with the deck hand, he does. Okay. Heartless Pillage, 2 cards. Well, so much for Tribunals. Alrighty. We can play this post-combat. We'll just swing with everything. It doesn't change our number of permanents for Snubhorn Sentry, so that's fine. And we can drop the Vanguard. And this is a pretty good spot, I'd say. Opponent, there are no sweepers in his deck, as I said, so I'm feeling good about this. If we can get something like a Storm Tamer is good. It's getting some blockers up. This can potentially block the Vanguard. This could block perhaps the Sky Marcher or the Hunted Witness. This unfortunately doesn't give our Snubhorn Ascend. So I don't see many bad trades here, so I think I'm just gonna go. We should be able to get in some damage. Only has 1 blue mana. There isn't really anything in his deck that can do anything meaningful for 1 blue. Double blocking, but he is. So he's going to go down to 6 here, which is fine by me. We'll do like that. That's fine. And we'll drop our cliff-top retreat. I anticipate winning next turn, but we'll see how it goes. Looks like Loxodon was the right play. That buff is just so powerful, really. It can actually turn a game on its head. So we could have some more. Got a Forebear's Blade that is not going to cut it. So this Plains is meaningless, and we'll just swing in for the game. Sure. And that's game 1, just like that. That's sort of what the aggro decks can do sometimes. So that was pretty straightforward. I'll just let my opponent know about game 2 real quick, that he's on the play. Okay, squared away. So we're just going to restart until he's on the play. Do I want to make any changes? I can also remind him. Maybe I shouldn't, but I don't think any of these cards are particularly relevant in the sideboard here. It really is nice, but he does have Murders and Vraska's Contempt in the sideboard, a Price of Fame. I don't think it's really that good. There's not very many on-play effects. Baffling End is cute, and he doesn't have enchantment removal, but I don't think it's particularly relevant. I'd rather just stay aggressive with what I have already, I think. I could do it in place of Conclave Tribunal. I think that's probably reasonable. That's probably fine, really. I don't need the Convoke, it's 2 mana less. I'd rather be aggressive. Whoops, I'm doing this backwards. So let's do this. Forgot we're not actually sideboarding here. And we'll do that. So out goes for Conclave Tribunal and goes for Baffling Ends. I use it more for decks like I've done a stupid. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I did direct challenge. I thought I did play. I've done that so many times when direct challenging people. Excuse me. Yeah, I think this is fine, so I can stay aggressive with other things. This hand is perfectly good. Opponent goes first, so it looks like it'll be a good game. So game 2. Siren Storm Tamer, that's good. Probably open with a Hunted Witness. I think so. We got a 3rd land, so we can play History on curve. Kitesail Corsair, that's fine. He swings in, that's fine. Okay. Let's swing with Hunted Witness, see what happens. Don't really expect him to block, but yep. And we'll drop our land, play Legion's Landing, and a Snubhorn. So I wasn't sold on Snubhorn and Sentry at first when I saw it in other white aggro lists, but after playing around with it, you can usually get the Ascend quick enough that it feels fine to play. Siren Reaver is good for him. Seems like a decent Baffling End target. I don't know if I want to do that this turn. Let's see, can I get a Sin this turn? Land 7, History 8, Knight 9. Not quite. I think I will Baffling End it, because then I can attack with all 3 and flip the Legion's Landing. So let's do that. So Sacred Foundry, and we'll Baffling End his Siren Reaver. I can't target it because it has a converted mana cost of 4. I'm really smart, by the way. I'm actually wonderful at Magic. Let's just hit this Kite Sail then. I guess we're not doing that this turn. Okay, that sucks. We can do it next turn. I'm so good at Magic. I forget about this 3 mana cost limitation on Baffling End. That is a reason to keep Conclave Tribunal instead of that, because then you don't run into issues with cards like Twilight Prophet giving you a bad time. Okay. I think we just ascend and swing here. Start trying to get somewhere. Let's ascend first before we attack, so that we can flip Legion's Landing. Okay, it's a sensible block. And we'll drop down our history. Well, let's hope he doesn't get Ascend himself. He's already on 7, so shouldn't be too hard for him. He's probably going to get it at some point, which could be bad news for us. Murdering our Aspirant, so his Siren Reaver can attack safely, it looks like. Right-tail Corsair hits the field. Yeah, he's also on the aggro game plan, but also with the Twilight Prophet in the back. Okay. I think we just swing in here and accept that one of our knights is going to die, probably to Twilight Prophet, and this will block. I'm not sure. I think that's the play. That's the only one, huh? Okay. Something like a Heroic Reinforcements would be very strong now. There's his Prophet. And that's... Just trying to see if I have lethal next turn. I don't on board, even with generating a thing. But neither is that, although his card draw from Twilight Prophet could well kill me. Okay, can't do anything about that. We'll make a Vampire. Loxodon. You are too slow, I think. I can gain 2 life, which still puts me dead, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead here. But let's just swing anyway. Yeah, the only way this gets through is if he... Ooh, I can't... Oh, I can't. Okay. The only way he misses lethal here is... I don't know. He just has to miss it. It has to be a straight mistake. Land does keep us relatively safe, but I don't think it matters. Grasping Scoundrel shouldn't be relevant. And it's not. That is lethal. Okay. I actually forgot about the limitation on Baffling End. I always forget about that. It's awful. So let's just swap that pack, honestly. although it will be good to be on the play for Game 3. Opponent's typing. Alright, good luck. Trying to think. The Prophet is only a 1-of in his deck, and it's a really solid blocker with that 4 toughness. I don't have a lot of stuff that can break through that. Maybe attacking with the Knight earlier was wrong with History, before the History trigger, so they could kill the Twilight Prophet if I attacked with it, but I don't think that was super relevant. Okay, we had the wrong person going first, so yeah. Gonna restart. That hand might have been okay. It's hard to say. Since he's also kind of an aggro deck, it may not have been. I don't think I can eat the 4 from a Danto Vanguard too much. Maybe that's what I take out for baffling in the Vanguards. But it was fine in the first game. The Vanguards are fine as long as I have more board control, I would say. Because then he's not going to be able to apply as much pressure. This hand is fine. Happy to keep this. Okay. Next turn we'll probably play the 2 for Sacred Foundry so we can drop History. Then if we can get one more land, Heroic Reinforcements is... ooh, that's a good draw. 6, 8... I can't quite get to Ascend. He may have a... what's that card? Direfleet Poisoner. He has 1 in the deck. He may have that in his hand to ambush us. Let's see. Doesn't look like it. We'll hold back our sentries since there's no benefit to attacking with it. No. Okay. So now we'll drop History. Yeah, it's getting off to a slow start, and we got some good creatures right at the start. Snubhorn obviously isn't doing damage yet, but... ooh, that's a slow start. This might be the end of the game. We'll pay the 2 and drop reinforcements. And we're just going to have a monster attack here. Yeah, just didn't get anything early to play. That was unfortunate for our opponent. But that's what this deck can do sometimes. I mean, we were right on curve, hit everything we wanted to for the most part. And they just had a bad last game, it looks like. Alright, so that's the video. I'll put the link to my deck list and all that in the description, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. And be sure to note how awful I am at Magic. I am terrible. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.